Begin with the most intense rivalry in college hoops, and North Carolina trying to sweep Duke in a season series for the first time in 11 years. First half, after you see Tyler Hansbrough, Brandon Wright, 6'9" wingspan of 7'4", 2 of his 10 heels up too early, represent. Later, heels up 9, Marcus Ginyard, rolled down 15-5-0-1, merged onto Franklin Street, went by He's Not Here in timeout, and got 2 of his 13. Duke, trouble holding on to the rock in the first half. Josh McRoberts, travel. Then DeMarcus Nelson, he can't handle the pass, it goes out of bounds. McRoberts, see what happened. 6 first-half turnovers for McRoberts. Tyler Hansbrough was the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but. Rips down the rim. He shot 10 of 18, heels up 10. More Carolina. Rashawn Terry out of R.J. Reynolds High School on senior day. The senior had 15. That was saucy. Second half, though, Duke coming back. Greg Paulus just schooling kids. 21 points for the former high school All-American quarterback. Duke down 2, but Hansbrough was just ridiculified. That's awkward, but it was 2 of his 26. Ty Lawson, Tyler Hansbrough, he also worked Duke for 17 rebounds, but the play of the game as far as intensity, under 20 seconds left. Hansbrough at the foul line. Game already in hand. Gerald Henderson on the block. Off the miss, Hansbrough gets his own rebound. Now take a look at Henderson right here. Coming down, gets a jump and just crushes Hansbrough with an elbow right to the nose. Now, Henderson says it was not intentional. He didn't mean to hurt Hansbrough, but Hansbrough split wide open, and he was ticked off as he was led to the locker room. Now, the referees ejected Henderson from the game. The official statement is this was a flagrant foul for combative and confrontational action. It is ruled a fight. So by NCAA rule, it is an automatic ejection and automatic 1-game suspension. Carolina clinches the top seed in the ACC tournament with the win, but afterward, all the talk about the elbow incident.
We got our guys in the air, and I came down on him. Unfortunately, it turned out like it was, but I wasn't trying to hurt the kid or anything. It just turned out worse than it was.
Look, we'll take all responsibility, but if there's any way that Gerald Henderson did that intentionally, it's crazy. He's moving away from it. He's going up to block. He's not even sitting. Now he hit him, and he should be fouled, but that's not the way he plays, and that's not the way we play. I feel badly for Tyler, and we apologize for that, but I know there was no intent to do that.
I thought Tyler was hit, and the referees said that they would look at it. They did say immediately it was going to be an intentional foul, but they wanted to look at it on the monitor. They looked on it on the monitor and then made their decisions. It's not like a prize fight where you ask what the other looks like. He looks pretty bad, that kind of thing, but it's they say it is not broken.
So the Tar Heels do sweep the Tobacco Road Series for the first time since Dean Smith was the coach.
Creighton and Southern Illinois. Nate Funk and Creighton looking to win the 4th MVC. That's Missouri Valley Tournament in 6 years. Second half, Creighton up 36-29. Funk stealing it on his back. The Dane Watts, he'll put that thing in, plus the foul. Creighton up 10 after the free throw. Later in the second, 45-34. Anthony Tolliver, he'll drive. Presently, he's tall. Tolliver, 15 points, 13 boards. Blue Jays up 13. Under 4 to go. Southern Illinois down by 8. Brian Mullins, the layup is good. He had 10, cut the lead to 6. Creighton right back at it. Nate Funk, jumper. Mullins fouls out. Funk had 19. Creighton up 8. Going on to win and going on to the NCAA tournament. Creighton upsets Southern Illinois in the Missouri Valley Tournament Championship, becoming the 6th team to clinch a spot in the NCAA tournament. Joining the Blue Jays now, Pennsylvania, Winthrop, Belmont, Davidson, and Eastern Kentucky so far.
Virginia Tech senior day for the number 21 Hokies. They can clinch a share of the ACC regular season title with the win. Under a minute to go in the second half. Xavier and Dowdell dropping the J like what? Dowdell had 25. Under 36 left. Casey Rivers drives, banks in the shot. He averages just 13 points a game. Rivers had 22. Clemson up 1. Then a scramble for the rebound. Hamilton comes up with it. Manages to dish to Rivers. Clock winds down. Foul is called on Jamon Gordon. Seth Greenberg is nearing coronary status. After 2 missed free throws, 1.5 seconds left, Tech inbounding, A.D. Vassallo goes up for the ball. Clemson's defense knocks it away. Clemson holds on to win it, 75-74.
Show me Boston College, Georgia Tech. Paul Hewitt's Yellow Jackets averaging more than 10 steals a game, best in the ACC. Tech up 14-2. Thaddeus Young ripping that off the other way. That's easy. Tech up big early. Second half, Tech up 44-30. Javaris Crittenden, the theft there, gets it back. The lay-in's good. He had 16 points, 10 assists. Later second half, Young again stealing the ball, and he'll go the other way. Reverse skate. Yellow Jackets get 8 steals, 20 turnovers. Georgia Tech wins it 74-60. So let's check out 2 ACC teams battling for the NCAA tournament berth. Clemson started off 17-0, but lost 9 of its last 13. Georgia Tech won 7 of its last 9 games, after a 4-game losing streak. Finished 1 game ahead of Clemson in the ACC. The team split their 2 head-to-head meetings. Let's go to Joe Lunardi. Who should get more bid, the ACC or the Big East?
Lost your last 2 and 3 of the last 4. Just over 30 seconds left in the first half. Joe Crawford ate his hush puppies and his scrimps and got strong. 14 points were tied at 43 at recess. Second half, Joakim Noah just went off. 6'11" and goes the length of the court and rocks it. He shot 6 of 8, Gators by 4. Then Joakim to Torian Green. Y'all got to give me that. Joakim had 11 boards, Gators up 11. Joakim again, bunnies again. He had 17 points, 4 up by 12. Then he just wanted to pad his rebounding stats, Kenny. The Gators outboarded the Wildcats 35-23. Just over 2 minutes to go. Joakim gets fouled going to the hoop, loses the ball, and yo, when it's your deal, it's your deal. Son, you are on the roll. Gators become the first SEC team to win 6 straight games against Kentucky. They win at 85-72.
We return. Seton Hall visiting Louisville for the first ever Big East Conference meeting. Seton Hall within 4, the 19th team in the nation. Brian Lang hits the 3 right over Edgar Sosa. The Hall staying in the game, cutting the deficit to 1. Now Louisville up 5. Brandon Jenkins takes the cross-court pass, and he's on in. Louisville extends the lead to 7, trying to put it away. Edgar Sosa should be open for this. Didn't go, but Derek Character right there for the putback. Another look to see how women 18-33 feel. Louisville wins at 86-71.
Alabama and Mississippi State. Mississippi State led by 12 at the break, but roll tide. Alabama, sir. Richard Hendricks for the layup. A 12-2 run to start the second half. Bama cuts a deficit to 2, but State would regain control. Freshman Ben Hansbrough to Charles Rhodes. Yeah, Ben Hansbrough is Tyler Hansbrough's baby brother. State would go on an 18-2 run after Bama had cut the lead. Rhodes put on some old Stevie Wonder, had a block party, started a fast break, alley-oop. And then next possession, Ben Hansbrough, I ain't gonna say that, he just threw up some junk. Together, the Hansbrough brothers on Sunday, 39 points, 22 rebounds combined. Ben had 13 and 5 of the Colonial Athletic Association tournament, George Mason, Old Dominion, Jim Larinaga, and George Mason fans getting geeked. First half, Gabe Norwood to Dre Smith to the air. He was 3 of 8 from 3-land. 19 points in the game, Mason up 13 later first. Smith with the steal, drives, spins, passes. He does all the work. Jordan Carter just kind of lays it in. Patriots shot 58%, they're up 14. Second half. Fowler and Campbell to Will Thomas. Thomas buffs it. Thomas and Campbell each reach 1,000 career points on Sunday. Late second, Norwood to Smith. Smith shut it down. George Mason, last year's darlings, they become the first team to play in the first round of the CAA tournament and reach the finals.
The other semi, Anthony Grant, top-seeded Virginia Commonwealth, taking on Drexel here, second half. Virginia Commonwealth leading by 15. Jesse Pelarosa, 16, 4 for 4 from the 3 world. VCU led by as many as 18. Bashir Mason driving and getting it done. Drexel on a 10-0 run, pulls to within 6. Now Dominic Mejia. Tough one inside. It's good. Plus the free throw. Drexel within 5. Under 2 to go. VCU up by 5. Eric Maynard driving the leaner. It's good. VCU wins 63-56. And moving forward Monday for the title game. So here come the Patriots, last year's Cinderella, looking to mock the stepmother again as George Mason advances to the Colonial Athletic Conference title game.
The Zags looking to win their 4th straight tournament title. If they do it, they'll go to the big dance, but they need it to go to the big dance. First half, Matt Bold, nice dish to David Pendergraft. This is how Pendergraft puts it down. He had 22 points. Later, Zags on a break, 3-on-2. Derek Raivio to Jeremy Pargo to Pendergraft. Raivio had 14 of his own. Zags by 6, under 5 left. Pargo spins, drives, bakes some cookies, does his taxes in the air. Zags up 14 at the break. They go on to win it. Check out the WCC Final, 9 p.m. Eastern, Monday night on ESPN.
Jim Larrañaga's team knocked off Hofstra and ODU and led most of the way in this one. Scary play here in the second half. Mason's Jordan Carter comes down awkwardly on his ankle. He had 6 points before he had to go to the sideline for the rest of the game. And this game went back and forth throughout. Nobody led by much in the second half. And here, Gabe Norwood, who came in for Carter, hits a huge three. Mason's up 1, but then Eric Maynor, sophomore from Fayetteville, North Carolina, absolutely takes over. The rip, the bucket, plus the foul. It's a 2-point game. Then Maynor, another steal from Norwood, ties the game at 57. Under a minute left, it's Maynor again. Said tonight was my night. Yes, it was. Anthony Grant's young club playing ball here late with a 2-point lead off the miss. Maynor gets the rebound because the jersey's grabbed. That's an intentional foul. Free throws, seal it late. Maynor has 20, and Virginia Commonwealth, there's Coach Grant, his squad closed the game on a 13-2 run, a coaching star in the making right there, and his team, they played well throughout. Virginia Commonwealth beats Mason, giving them a chance to do what Mason did a year ago, but history not on their side. 2 previous times, the Rams out of Richmond went to the won the CAA tournament, I beg your pardon. They were probably bounced in the first round.
America's team, Gonzaga, Santa Clara in the West Coast Conference Championship game. Gonzaga looking for its 9th straight invite to the big dance. Broncos beat the Zags in Spokane earlier this season, snapped their 50-game home winning streak, and Derek Raivio is still steamed about that. He had 28. The Bulldogs up 5 at the half, early second half. Raivio, he's going to get the spot shadow right there because he was on the spot right here, and he hits Jeremy Pargo. You know, Raivio's daddy Rick was a star player at Portland. That's the site of where this year's tournament is. They got his name up in the rafters. John Bryant, Santa Clara hasn't been to the tournament since '96. Steve Nash's senior year. He does what he can, but too much Raivio. He hits David Pendergraft for the 3, and Gonzaga 77-68 whammy and fries await. Gonzaga in the NCAA tournament for the 9th straight season. Been a tougher than usual run for Mark Few's club.
Siena trying to get off the schneid. The old adage is, well, actually, it's Niagara trying to get off the schneid. Can you beat a team 3 times in a season? That's Alex Franklin on the alley-oop. Siena leads by 2. Franklin a game-high 27. Lots of lead changes. Biggest lead for either side was 6. Niagara down by 4. Lorenzo Miles, who had 3 threes, 21 points. Purple Eagles within 1. Then Sharon Fisher, 3 of 18, but that bucket right there was huge. Niagara's up 3 after the free throw. Just 20 ticks on the clock. Siena down 1. Ronald Moore drives, gets a good look. It goes begging, and Niagara goes on to win. The tournament MVP, the freshman Tyrone Lewis. You didn't see him score his 24, but he was a big reason why. Niagara becomes the 3rd team this season to win its conference tournaments by defeating a team that had swept it during conference play. The other 2 teams, Eastern Kentucky over Austin Peay and Creighton over Southern Illinois in the always hotly contested Missouri Valley. Horizon League final being played on Wright State's home floor, taking on Butler. That's Deshaun Wood, first team All-Horizon League, and he showed you why early. He came out on fire! Wood from 3, Wood from 3, Wood from 2, and then another runner, Deshaun Wood. If you don't know, get familiar. He had 18 in the first half. The rest of the team had 13. Second half, the Raiders are up 1. Scotty Wilson rings up 3, and it's a 4-point game. But Butler, now they're in the dance, win or lose. Here it's Brandon Crone. He's out range, ties the ball game up. This was a tense back-and-forth ball game. And then it's Wood late in the tie game, comes off the curl, bottoms. Butler had a couple of good looks, but could not answer. Brad Brownell, hired last year, told the team they would make the NCAA tournament, and they do. Wright State will dance, trying to continue a run of success for the Horizon League. You had Wisconsin, Milwaukee upset Oklahoma in the first round last season. They reached the Sweet 16 in 05. Wright State lost in its only appearance back in 1993. Now, Tom Brennan on why Butler's loss may cause some other teams on the bubble to feel some pain.
continent finals. Oral Roberts, Oakland, winner in the field of 65. ORU at the home court advantage, but Oakland from Michigan with the Eric Kangas advantage. From downtown Tulsa, he had 6 threes in the first half, 20 points, and Oakland led by 11 at the half. Second half, Yemi Agunye to Sean King. Oral Roberts down 6. Now down 1. Caleb Green in the paint. He had 28. ORU up 1, under 40 seconds. Ken Tutt. Funky Tutt. Oral Roberts up 2, and that got us thinking in the newsroom. Wasn't it just 2 years ago, these two teams' conference championship game, that Oakland beat ORU by 1 on Pierre Dukes? Off-balance 3 in the final seconds. It was. Could it be deja vu all over again? 2-point game, final seconds. Kangas three-pointer, he misses. No, it wasn't deja vu all over again. It's ORU winning 71-67. Golden Eagles are in the tournament for the 2nd straight season. First time in school history that's been done. By the way, the Simpsons character, Ned Flanders, he's an ORU graduate. Texas looking to make it to the tournament for the first time since 1988. You know, Coach Johnny Jones said Calvin Watson didn't want to quit shooting after the Tuesday morning shoot-around, so he said, just stay out there and keep shooting. And I told him to keep going further back and relax and just shoot the ball. The practice paid off. That's all Calvin for you right there. His first 4 threes, and then in the second half, it's Watson again. He had 24 points. He was named the tournament MVP. Still, they're locked up in a tight one. Arkansas State down 5. Isaac Wells, he's been practicing. He had a team-high 21. Next play for North Texas, though, Ben Bell to Rich Young. North Texas up 4. Coach Jones and North Texas win it by 8, 83-75. There's your championship shirt. And just dive into the balloons, man. You know what? It's always tough to beat a team 3 times in the same season. Arkansas State found that out. Becomes the 4th team to lose its conference championship game against a team it swept in the regular season. See Siena, Austin Peay, and Southern Illinois. They also found out the same thing earlier this week.
Blight, who wants to dance? Northeast Conference Championship. Sacred Heart against Central Connecticut State. You see the first 12 games lousy, last 12 games they are on a run. Jared Fry for Sacred Heart. Bucket. Sacred Heart is up 3. CCSU. Danny Powell drives. Draws the bump. 3 the hard way. Blue Devils up 1. More importantly, perhaps Fry's 5th foul. He's out after scoring 16. Under 2 to go. Javier Mojica, great story you'll probably be hearing a lot about in the coming week. Give me all 3 of these, and his team goes up 2. He had 25, just under 50 to go. Jamino Sobers, shot clock winding down. Maybe not the guy you want to pull, but he had a double-double, and Howie Dickiman's club goes on to win. What a story. Said Dickiman of his team, they have as much heart, as much toughness mentally, physically, and emotionally as any team I have ever known. This is the 3rd time that they have made the big dance. Haven't hung around for long in their previous 2. They're going to probably be a 16 or a 15 seed this time. As a 14 seed in Pitt, they battled for a while. As a 15 seed against Iowa State in 2000, they hung around again for a while. But CCSU, hard-hitting New Britain, is in the tournament.
CCSU going where UConn is not, unless Jim Calhoun's club makes a historic run in the conference tournament. Pair of Hall of Fame coaches, Huskies and Syracuse. First half, A.J. Price, Marcus Johnson. UConn up 7. Late first, Syracuse down 1. Eric Devendorf driving to the hoop, and he's going to finish in reverse. 15 of his 19 in the first half. Still, the Orange trail by a deuce at the half. Coach Boeheim with the winning halftime speech. Orange now up 7. Devendorf, baseline. Darrell Watkins fouled hard, still makes the basket. Wow. 5-8 run to start the second half. You know what the difference in this game was?
What was different?
It was the uniforms.
Oh, those.
Yeah, they got the tighties on.
What do you think of those?
I couldn't know unless I actually felt one on my body. Demetrius Nichols. He'd heat up from distance. 11 points during that aforementioned 25-8 run, and the Qs start to pull away with it. Connecticut's going to miss the tournament for the first time since 01. Nichols couldn't miss. Q's, Notre Dame, Thursday.
You're my boy. I don't want to see him one of those guys. Mike Nardi limited by an ankle injury for Villanova. He averages almost 13, but it's all right because they've got a freshman by the name of Scotty Reynolds, and he will shoot from anywhere. Case in point, one of his 4 threes right there. DePaul, Sammy Mejia was going to have to do his thing, and he did. 20 in the ball game. DePaul within 2 at the half. In the second half, Curtis Sumter, 5th year, deep 3, 25 for him. Nova's up 8. And then Reynolds again, 6 of 19. He's, as I said, an enthusiastic shooter. He also a good scorer, had 29. Just over 2 to go. Nova's up 4. Reggie Redding drives, pump fake, bucket. Sumter and Reynolds combined for 54 of Nova's 75. Up next, they get Georgetown, a team with whom they split in the regular season.
Now, West Virginia, one of those teams folks are saying needs to run before it can dance. First steps coming against Providence in the conference tournament, and push play and record in the Frank Young household, please. Early first, and Young is getting off from distance. He was channeling Jerry West, who, by the way, whose son, Johnny, is a freshman on this team.
There you go. You were on a roll, Neil.
Frank Young, the only returning starter from last year's team. He had 21 points, 5 of 6 behind the arc, and Alex Ruoff. Well, now he's tied the Big East tournament record the team has for threes, 14, set by Seton Hall. No, they broke. Forget about the tie. Sherrod Curry there, that's 15. Then Ruoff, that's 16. And you see the theme here. Wellington Smith, 17 of 31. 6 different players hit from behind the arc. West Virginia wins big, 92 to 79. Coach Beilein, when we shoot like that, we're tough. We're tough out. And they're not out of it yet.
Marquette hoping to survive St. John's, playing on its home floor to get a date with Pittsburgh. That's Dan Fitzgerald, who got a start in place of Jarrell McNeil, and he made the most of it. Here he hits the 3. He had a game high and career high 20. Anthony Mason Jr. You might remember his father. If you do, you're like me and you're old. His dad's still carving stuff in his head. He had 19. St. John's within 2. Dominique James gets a shot kicked by Eugene Lawrence. Lawrence finds Larry Wright for the lay-in, and St. John's on a 10-love run. Knot things up at 45, but Mike Kinsella, one of the 10 threes Marquette hit in this ball game. They stretch it back out and win it by 9. So after round 1 of the Big East tournament, most of your higher seeds advance to the quarterfinals.
Sky Conference title game, Northern Arizona and Weber State on the Wildcats home court in Ogden. That's David Patton, Conference Player of the Year, and he had home cooking going. Hits the 3 right there. He had 22. Weber made 16 of its first 19 shots, shot 72% in the first half. Dan Henry and the foul. Wildcats up by 21, led by 16 at the half. But the second half, Northern Arizona went lumberjack on Weber. Josh Wilson, timber! We got a 2-point game, but then Desmond Harris, 4-point game under a minute to play. That's your dagger, 88 to 80. Harris with 20 points, and Weber State gets the win in his first season. Randy Wright coaches Weber State into the tournament, 14th time in school history, first since '03. Washington didn't figure to be playing on day 1 of the conference tournament when the Pac-10 season began, but here are the Dogs against Arizona State. Spencer Haas, remember that name because you're going to see him at the next level. He had 13 and 11. Huskies up 8 at the half. Second half, Sun Devils down 2. Derek Glasser hits the 3. You do the math. Herb Sendek's club up 1. Huskies still down 1. Haas to Quincy Pondexter. Dunk's soul brother. Check him out now. Huskies up 1, and Justin Detman is going to find John Brockman, who had 16, and Lorenzo Romar's club goes on and wins by 8, 59 to 51. So the 2 higher seeds in the first round games of the Pac-10 tournament advance. Now Cal went on a 34-2 first half run against Oregon State.